I'm going to show you how to make this super cute and easy pendant necklace. I'm using Baby Yoda as the pendant and Rockstar yarn as the yarn. And I also have a little example of just regular worsted weight yarn. So you can use that too if you don't have Rockstar. Rockstar is made by Ice Brands and it has like a nice little shine to it and very pretty yarn, very soft too. So what you're going to need for this project is a little Baby Yoda pendant. You can get these on my website. Or you can also use any other little charm that has a loop up here. You can use the same technique. And you'll want a crochet hook. I'm using a size I, but you can use pretty much any size crochet hook and somewhere in this range. It doesn't really matter the size because we're just doing chains. And scissors and a ruler. You'll want to measure around your head just to make sure it'll slip over your head once you're done, because we're not going to use a clasp on this. And the great thing about chaining is it stretches. So measure out with a piece of string the length around your head, or if you have a measuring tape, you can use that too. And just make sure you're using something that doesn't really stretch so you know exactly how big to make it. And once you figure that out, which mine was about 23 inches, so you want to use a piece of string or a measuring tape to measure around your head to make sure it'll fit over your head, because we're not going to use a clasp on these. But the great thing is this will stretch. So you don't need to make it quite as long as your head. You just need to figure out, once it stretches, the halfway point of what your head would be. So for example, my head measures about 23 inches. So I'm using about 11 and a half as the midpoint. And when I start my chains, I'm going to measure them out and stretch them out to get to 11 and a half. And that way I'll know where that midpoint is. The first thing I want to do is thread my Baby Yoda charm onto the yarn. And you can probably do this by folding it in half and putting it through, but it's a lot easier if you use a needle threader or take a little piece of thread. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So you take your yarn and put it over this thread and then fold your thread in half and just kind of line it up there. And then you can take your Baby Yoda charm and just thread these little two ends through here, and then your yarn will come through real easy. And it doesn't matter if it's front to back or back to front, doesn't matter which way you go. So then you just want to pull it on a little bit. And now we're going to start our chains. So we're going to make a slip knot. And just start chaining. And I want to make a long enough chain where this chain stretches to 11 and a half inches, because that's my halfway point of how long I need to make this necklace in order for it to slip over my head. So I'm going to test it out before I get to that 11 and a half inches and see how far it'll stretch. So right now I'm at about 10 inches without it being stretched. But if I stretch this out, it comes to about 11 and a half inches. And that's exactly where I want it. So now I'm ready to take my little pendant here, and we want to thread him back closer to our chain. And the first thing you want to do before you crochet over this is make this chain right here really tight. So I'm going to pull my crochet hook and pull this thread, and it's going to tighten up that chain. And I do that because I don't want the chain on this loop to come loose, so that way it hangs like this. I'll show you what I mean. If I would just crochet it regular like that and then just keep going, it might get pulled out of shape and look like this. And that doesn't look all that great, so let's not do that. So I have that really tight crochet on there. Put my hook back in here. So I'm going to thread it all the way up to that chain and then do another chain over this one. And then I'm going to tighten that one also. So just pull on it and just get it so it's nice and tight. And I'm going to do one more chain like that. Chain and tighten. And then that way, if I pull on it, it's not going to get all pulled out of shape. And then I could just continue on crocheting like normal until I get to the same length as the other side. Now that these two chains are about the same length, I'm going to cut the yarn and leave a little bit of a tail so that way I can tie it on the top. And then pull my crochet hook out and the thread comes out like that. Then I just want to pull this tight. Just make sure that knot is real tight on there. Same thing with this one. Just pull it tight. Just pull that knot down as far as it'll go. Then I'm going to take my two pieces of yarn and tie them together. So I do one little tie right there, and then I usually hold it with my finger right here, and I'm going to do a surgeon's knot. So I'm going to go under one and under one again. And then pull that tight slowly so we don't lose our spot. And pull it tight, and then do one more under and pull through. Then you're ready to trim this off. And you can put a little dot of glue there if you want. I usually don't because it's pretty secure. So if you pull on it tight, it's not going anywhere. And this will have a little bit of a stretch, so it'll stretch over your head. And now you're ready to wear your Baby Yoda necklace. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.